Hello students, welcome to English World Learn Better by Best Experience. This is Heman Nabdya, English educator at SBM Sarda Bihar Bhopal. Today I am going to teach you lesson number 2, Lost Spring, written by Anis Jung. So listen carefully and try to understand fully. Lesson number 2, Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood, written by Anis Jung. Before starting lesson, we should know about the introduction of the lesson. So, Lost Spring, written by Anis Jung, is an extract taken from her book titled Lost Spring: Stories of Stolen Childhood. In this lesson, author analyzes the grinding poverty and traditions which condemn the children to a life of exploitation. It expresses the plight of street children that forced into labor early in life and denied the opportunity of schooling. It also expresses the carelessness of society and political class to the suffering of the poor. Here we have some key points to understand the whole lesson. From part 1, a boy scrounges for gold in the garbage dumps. Sahib is from Dhaka but lives in Simapuri. Author asks him, "Why do you do this?" Author asks him, "Why don't you go to school?" His name Sahib-e-Alam means Lord of Universe. Author asks them, "Why aren't you wearing chappals?" Simapuri, Sahib's family came to live from Dhaka. Food is more important for survival than an identity. Survival in Simapuri means rag picking. Garbage to them is gold in many ways. The garbage has different meaning for them. Sahib wants to play tennis but can't use swing. Sahib shows his tennis shoes to author. Sahib starts working in a tea stall. Author asks to herself, does he like the job? Sahib is no longer his own master at tea stall. Let's come to the explanation. So we can start with the introduction of Sahib, who is a rag picker, came from Dhaka, recently living in Simapuri at the age of Delhi. When author encounters him, asks 3 questions to Sahib. What does he do in the garbage dump daily? Why doesn't he go to school? And why doesn't he, along with his friends, wear chappals? Sahib replies to author's question that he has nothing else to do in the garbage and there is no school in my neighborhood. When they build one, he'll go. And for not wearing chappal, they reply that it is not lack of money but a tradition to stay barefoot. But it was an excuse to explain away a perpetual state of poverty. Author also remember a story told by a man from Udupi. Udupi is in Karnataka state. That how he had got a pair of shoes after 30 years. When author was taken to Simapuri, she came to know that more than 10,000 rag pickers were living and they all were from Dhaka and they have lived here for more than 30 years without an identity. For them, food was more important for survival than an identity. And survival in Simapuri means rag picking only. Through the years, it has acquired the proportions of a fine art. Garbage to them is gold. It is their daily bread, a roof over their heads. Even if it is a leaking roof, but for a child, it is even more because sometimes they find a rupee, even a 10 rupee note. Garbage has different meanings for them. For the children, it is wrapped in wonder. For the elders, it is a means of survival. Sahib also dreams to play tennis. When he watches two young men playing tennis, but it is out of his reach. Sahib starts work in a tea stall down the road, and he is paid 800 rupees and all his meal, but he has lost the carefree look. The steel canister seems heavier than the plastic bag he would carry so lightly over his shoulder. The bag was his, but the canister belongs to the man who owns the tea shop. So Sahib is no longer his own master. Now we have key points of part second. That is, I want to drive a car. Mukesh is from Firozabad, famous for its bangles. He wants to drive a car and be a motor mechanic. Firozabad, one of the center of India's glass blowing industry. More than 20,000 children work here illegally. Mukesh takes the author to his half-built shack. Author meets to a frail young woman, the Bahu. Author meets to an elder man, the bangle maker. Then the author meets to Mukesh's grandmother. Author finds bangles everywhere in Firozabad. Author meets Savita making Suhag bangles. Woman says, achieved nothing except a house. Still they want to carry on business of bangles. There is no leader among them to get organized. Author finds the poor society by stigma of caste, carelessness of society, and political class for poor. Author is cheered seeing flash of daring in Mukesh. Let's come to the explanation of part second. So we can start with the introduction of Mukesh, who is from Firozabad, famous for its Bengal, and it is the center of India's glass glowing industry where families have spent generations working here. Mukesh's family is among them. Here more than 20,000 children are working illegally, where they slog their daylight hours, often losing the brightness of their eyes. When author was taken by Mukesh to his slums house, he witnesses the reality of the poor people, that is Bengal maker. She means author also meets to Bahu, the daughter-in-law. As a custom demands, daughter-in-law must veil their faces before male elders. She also meets to his father, who is an impoverished bangle maker. Despite long years of hard labor, first as a tailor, then a bangle maker, he has failed to renovate a house, send his two sons to school. All he has managed to do is teach them, that is the art of making bangles. Author also meets to grandmother of Mukesh, who has watched her own husband go blind with the dust from polish the glass of bangles. She also implies, born in the caste of bangle makers, they have seen nothing but bangles. Author also meets Savita, a young girl sitting with an elderly woman making bangles for Suhag. She doesn't know that one day she will become a bride and she will have bangles on her wrist, but no light in her eyes. In spite of facing lots of problems, they want to carry the same profession, that is making bangle or bangle making. On seeing the condition, author suggests them to organize into a cooperative so that they can be free from middlemen who trapped their fathers and forefathers. But they reply that if they get organized, they will be hauled up by the police and beaten and dragged to jail for doing something illegal. Listening to them, author sees two distinct worlds. One of the family caught in a web of poverty, burdened by the stigma of caste in which they are born, and the other a vicious circle of the sahukars, the middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats, and the politicians. Together they have imposed the baggage on the child that he cannot put down. But author feels happy to see the daring of Mukesh because he wants to change his profession and he is trying his best. He wants to be a motor mechanic and wants to drive a car. Here I am giving you summary and extracts. So go through the summary and extracts to score full marks. Finally, I am giving you question answers. So go through the questions and their key points to score full marks and to know how to write answer properly.